this one church town, there's a gold dirt road to a whole lot of nothing. Got a deed to the land, but it ain't my ground. This is God's country. We pray for rain and thank him when it's falling, 'cause it brings a grain and a little bit of money. We put it back in the plate, I guess that's why they call it God's country. I saw the light in a sunrise, sitting back in a 40 on the muddy riverside, getting baptized in holy water and shine with the dogs running. Saved by the sound of a pin-found Dixie whistle in the wind, that'll get you heaven bound. The devil went down to Georgia, but he didn't stick around. This is God's country. We turn the dirt and work until the week's done. We take a break and break bread on Sunday, then do it all again, 'cause we're proud to be from God's country. I saw the light in a sunrise, sitting back in a 40 on the muddy riverside, getting baptized in holy water and shine with the dogs running. Saved by the sound of a pin-found Dixie whistle in the wind, that'll get you heaven bound. The devil went down to Georgia, but he didn't stick around. This is God's country. Headstone reads or what kind of pine wood box I end up in. When it's my time, lay me 6 feet deep in God's country. I saw the light in a sunrise, sitting back in a 40 on the muddy riverside, getting baptized in holy water and shine with the dogs running. Saved by the sound of a pin-found Dixie whistle in the wind, that'll get you heaven bound. The devil went down to Georgia, but he didn't stick around. This is God's country. Yeah, I saw the light in a sunrise, sitting back in a 40 on the muddy riverside, getting baptized in holy water and shine with the dogs running. Saved by the sound of a pin-found Dixie whistle in the wind, that'll get you heaven bound. The devil went down to Georgia, but he didn't stick around. This is God's country.
When I was a little boy, and the devil called my name, I said, now who do you think you're fooling? I'm a consecrated boy, singing in the Sunday choir. Oh, my mama loves me, she loves me. She gets down on her knees and hugs me. She loves me like a rock. She loves me like the rock of ages. She loves me. She loves me, loves me, loves me, loves me. When I was grown to be a man, and the devil called my name, I said, now who do you think you're fooling? Well, I'm a consummated man, saturated in purity. Oh, my mama loves me. She loves me.
Whoops.
Hear them?
I just dropped.
Hello, everybody.
Can you hear us?
Hello.
Hello. We need a thermometer up here.
Yes, we do. Hello, everybody. Good evening. Welcome in, everybody. And we're just finishing up. Just give me a second here. That's all good. Back to this.
Oh my!
Over here.
We got major glare going on.
There we go. It's awful. It is so hot here
Oh,
tonight.
phew.
Oh my heavens.
It's like 86 downstairs.
And 96
so
up here.
It's got to be 96 up here.
So just give us a second here. I'm trying to find a spot here for the camera that doesn't give us too much glare.
Okay.
That looks like we're standing on our heads. All right. Can everyone see us and hear us? I got to scroll way down here and let us know if you guys can hear and see us.
Yes.
We came in there all of a sudden, so forgive me for that. I hit the wrong button, actually, so it's all good.
I wondered.
Yeah.
I wondered.
It's all good.
Anyway, yeah, we're good. 18 in here already.
I thought I was doing, I thought I was muting something and bringing someone into the green room, and I ended up opening the whole live, so y'all have to forgive me for that. But anyway, let me know. Can you hear us good? John says thumbs up. Just give us, let us know that you can hear us, everyone out there, so that we, Tony, you need to get that new iTunes sensation song playing for the USA Richmond, North of Richmond. It's awesome. Yeah, I heard that.
What song is it?
It may get my channel shut down, though, so I have to be careful.
What song is it, dear?
Richmond, North of Richmond.
Oh.
But
Sir Paul suggested it.
Yeah, let us know. Kim says yes. Good. Glad you can all hear us.
Good.
And we got the screen tilted just a bit because we're getting a glare off the one light that we have. And we thought we'd turn 2 on, we made it too bright. So we're gonna have to figure out this lighting predicament here. But welcome in, everybody.
Yes.
We're excited about the show tonight. It's going to be a good time.
Yes,
and
we've
got some friends and folks and everybody else that's here.
We're good
glad
crowd
to have you here
we
tonight.
Have a wonderful audience.
Oh, it's a lineup here.
And you know what? This is audience participation night.
Well, it's everyone's participation, so that's good.
That's what I meant. Hey, Tim and Carol.
Just one sec, everybody.
Would love to chat, but me and Carol are heading to the field to pick while it's cool, so take care. All right, guys. Yes, we know we're having the heat wave of 2023 up here.
Yeah, we had all of our September weather in August. Now we're having our August weather in September.
Yes.
So, well, let's say hello to Lee, Fisherman 506.
Hello,
Rebecca,
Lee and
how
Carolyn.
are you?
Hi, Rebecca.
Lila, hello.
Yes.
Paul Honeyman, how you doing, my friend? Glad to have you in here.
Evening, Paul.
And let's just get down through here. Kim, how are you?
Hi, Kim.
Glad to have you here. And Tiffany, hello, Tiffany. Good to have you here with us tonight.
Hi,
and
Tiffany.
Brenda, how are you doing?
Welcome.
And let me see here. Christine, I see you down there, Christine. And Johnny, and let me see who else we got here. I don't want to miss anybody.
Lots of good folks.
Yep.
Lots of good folks.
Lots and lots and
25
lots.
already. Woo!
Yep. And Joe, Jesse's dad. How you doing, Joe? Glad
Joe.
to have you hanging out with us tonight.
Wonderful to have you here.
Yep, Joe, just a great guy.
Joe's
Every
a
now
cool
and again,
guy.
he has to go over to Jesse and Lisa's so he can hang out with the senior people. But you
Yes.
know, he does all right. So, but we're
He's,
glad to have you here, Joe. Hope you're doing good. Praying
he's-
for you every day, my friend.
He's cool, Joe.
He's cool, Joe.
He's cool, Joe.
Cool Jay. Hey, cool Jay.
Cool, Jay.
Oh man. All right. So let me see here. Jan, how are you?
Hey, Jan.
Welcome in, Jan and the boss.
Yes.
Glad to have you guys with us. Let me see. Don't want to miss anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Scroll down through here.
Give me a little fan.
Good. Yeah, it's
Woo!
hot up here.
Woo-hoo.
It is hot. John Bailey, how you doing, my friend?
Good evening, John.
Glad to have you in here with us. And Rochelle, good evening. She can hear us good.
Miss Brampton.
Mr. Willie. Mr. Wild Willie himself.
Hey, Mr. Willie. And thank you all who commented happy birthday to Tony on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
39 yesterday.
I had a wonderful time yesterday.
Yeah.
I shared some pictures over there.
39 is still holding.
That's right.
I'm holding her.
Moving right along.
Oh, man. Jesse and Lisa.
Mhm.
Hello.
Hello.
Let me see. Hound of Goshen. How are you guys doing?
Curtis and Kate.
Curtis and Kate.
Great
Mr.
folks.
Willie says, happy birthday on my 80th birthday.
I've seen that. And
yeah, well, you
I
know,
was going to let it slide.
Does this look 80 to you, Willie? Huh?
No, and he doesn't act it. Believe me.
All right. And Tim and Carol, Surviving Maine on 20 Acres. How you guys doing? Glad to have you in here with us.
They got to head to the fields, dear.
And Chelsea is here. Chelsea and Zach, our daughter and son-in-law.
And dishes, she said. And
let me see here. Who else we got here? Jesse's girl. Everybody wants to be Jesse's girl.
Jam and Queen herself. Look, I just made myself a fan.
Hey, Kevin, what's up, man? The boss man himself.
Oh, there
Kevin.
he is. Yep. There he is.
Yeah, hit the thumbs up if you don't mind. We appreciate it so much. And let's see, just drop down through here.
I'll tell you, you got to think cool thoughts up here in this loft.
Well, that just comes natural to me. What can I say?
You got to think cool thoughts. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm so cool. I just caused frost on everybody else. What can I say?
All right.
Just kidding.
Yeah. All right.
Zach's at hockey tryouts. Well, I sure hope he makes it.
Yeah, we'll be praying for him, Chelsea.
Is he on the Pee Wee team?
For those of you who don't know, he's our son-in-law, and he's an excellent
he's actually
hockey
a very
player.
Good hockey player.
He's been on skates since he could walk.
Yeah. Yep. So welcome in everybody, and tonight we're excited. We're starting Tuesday night table talk around here, and it's going to be fun. We're changing things up from our regular way of doing things a little bit, just simply because we noticed 2 weeks ago when we had kind of a round table discussion in the panel, it really went well. So we were elated by that. And I think that there's a lot. Hey, not for nothing. How you doing, Ginger?
Hey, Ginger.
Ginger and Joe. Did I see Joe come in too? Carlene the Sir. How are you?
Hey, Carlene.
And so tonight we're going to kind of spend some time talking about what I think are some pretty wild topics. And we're going to have just guests up on the panel that are the most intelligent, brightest, kindest, the finest folks we can find to bring all of these things together for us tonight. Hey, Ben's Over Acres. How you doing?
Hi, Rayma. Glad you could make it.
How are you doing? Yeah, I like table talk, but you don't invite me. You didn't invite me. Wah, wah, wah. Who knows what next week may hold, Jan?
That's it.
Hey, Mike's Adventures. How you doing? Glad to have you in here.
Good evening.
And so just real quick update on what's going on around here. We're just working away towards getting the watershed built so that we can get all of our water in place so that we don't have to keep trucking water in. And so we're getting there. We drew up the plans today and looked at everything we need. So hopefully by the end of October, mid-October, we will have all of our water catchment system, all of our pumps, and all of our holding tanks. Everything will be in a building under shelter, insulated and ready to go. So
super excited about that. And we have some friends coming to help.
We do. We have some friends from North Carolina that are going to come up and spend 3 days with us.
Yes.
And they're going to help us get some stuff done. So we're excited about that. So, Ginger, sorry about that. You must have missed that email. It was tiny print. Probably couldn't read it. But we've got some guests down in the green room. And so I need to get my notepad. And we're going to bring some folks up here in just a second. We really want to first say thank you to everybody that is going to be on panel with us. I know you guys are so busy.
Yes,
and you guys are trying to do so much and get so much done on your own properties and your own life and all that. So we're very thankful that you were willing to take the time to stop in for a few minutes and just help us discuss some of these topics tonight. And so Jesse is here. He's going to help us. He always does. And Jesse and Lisa, and they're going to help us. Here's the only rules that we have. We don't want to lose the chat. We want to stay engaged with the chat. And so we don't want to just be a talking panel without including people in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
So Jesse is going to help us monitor that.
Mm-hmm.
The comments that are relevant and good questions, we'll pop them up on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
We will try to get through this with everybody putting their comments in so that you can be part of this as well. We feel that if you took the effort to be here, if you've taken the time to be in the comments, then we owe it to you. We should respect you enough to at least incorporate you into this discussion.
Absolutely.
And so that's kind of the rules of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So the topic tonight is simple. We want to talk about basically finding the balance between business, relationships, family, friends, homesteading, building while trying to build your YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big topic, and we're going to break it down tonight. We've got some folks who are bringing up here. Jesse, if you want to come on up. Let me see. Do I do that from my end here?
I can.
Yep. So if you can manipulate the screen while I'm talking, that's great.
Hi, Jackie. Good to have you here.
Hey, Jackie. And so our guests tonight, Jesse and Lisa. We all know them from Houston, Texas. And we've got Christine and Johnny from Oklahoma. I'm going to say that right. And we've got My Wild Home.
Yes.
And they have been so kind, Ryan and Melody, from your island is off BC somewhere. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. What's the name of your island?
Bird Island.
Okay. And so the reason we chose these couples is because they totally get it when it comes to balancing business, life, family, relationship, trying to build a homestead, as well as build a channel.
Right.
They really do. They are working just like the rest of us. And so I want to start because I know you guys are on your phone, you're in your truck, Ryan and Melody, and thank you guys for being here.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate it.
We know what that's like when you're remote and
yes. So we want to start with them, and then we're going to work our way across to Johnny and Christine, and then we'll hop up the panel here to Jesse and Lisa.
And we may have another guest pop in.
Yeah,
too.
and we've got another guest pop in somewhere. If we can find her in here, if she got the link, she can pop in anytime. But here's the first question that we want to start with. Knowing how busy each person is, what is your daily, routine or regimen? How do you juggle this homesteading, this building, family, business, date night? Got to have date night.
Yes.
As well as your YouTube channel. And that's a lot in one question. Melody, Ryan, you guys start. Go ahead.
Oh my goodness, are we the right ones to go first? With us, I guess honestly, whatever is front of mind for us. So, we're at the island, we wake up, our first thought is actually our first thought are our morning devotions every single day. So we do not start a day without spending time with God, and that's our priority. So that kind of sets the tone for the rest of our day, to be honest. And then we just work. We work hard at whatever it is that we have to do. God first, family, each other, and then the island, and then of course intermingled with all of that is you guys and YouTube, and that's it's a full life. We're on the road right now because we've had a little incident we'll talk to you about on Thursday night, but getting it sorted out, and it's just busy like all the time. Plus, yes, I'm still running a business, and so our priorities are kind of what I've just said, and it seems to work. I don't know, I could never just sit. Could you, honey? We're not sitters.
No, we make impossibly long to-do lists, like I suppose you folks do, and we have we have this list that's yay big, and we refer to it all the time. And it's kind of like a tree, and we insert branches into it whenever we think of something new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, and we're always reprioritizing things, depending on the weather or
Yes.
whatever, the availability of certain things.
Yes.
And we've tried Gantt charts and stuff, but it doesn't always work out. Your budgeted time allowance doesn't always work out. Sometimes things take less time. Sometimes it takes more time. And you mentioned date night. It's date whenever we can. It's not necessarily date night. It's, date morning, date lunch.
But one thing that we've done is we have a debrief. So a daily debrief where Ryan will say, okay, so how are you doing right now? How are we doing?
Yeah.
And we just talk. And, we're with each other all the time, literally.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I was going to say is that we take one day a week where we worship God, we get out in nature, we actually don't go on a social media at all. We don't even check emails unless we think maybe something's in the works.
I don't even turn my phone on.
Ryan doesn't turn his phone on. Yeah. So that day is Saturday for us.
I just want to say right quick, because I am looking at comments. A few people do not know you folks, Ryan and Melody. If you want to just take a quick couple minutes and just say who you are, where you're from, what you're doing.
Okay, so we're a semi-retired couple from British Columbia, Canada. We bought a 62-acre island in the wilderness of British Columbia on a lake, 32-kilometer lake. And we're just building our homestead. We've finished building our tiny cabin just about. So we're in the works with that. And we're just making a life for ourselves out here. It's just an amazing adventure, the most incredible adventure of our lives. And
there's tremendous inherent challenges when living on an island. Just getting, supplies is, it requires a barge ride, and then, 90 minutes of teeth chattering logging road. You get to a highway, and then another 2.5 hours till we get to the town that we need to get our supplies. So we're out there.
Yeah.
And it's frozen. It's a frozen winter wonderland, 6 months out of the year.
Mm-hmm. So with all that you folks have going on, can you tell us in a nutshell, roughly, and I know it changes seasonally, I get that, but in a nutshell, regarding trying to have a channel, how much time would you say a week you devote to that channel?
Too much.
No, not at all.
I never get to see her.
No. I think we've got quite a good balance now because we're doing our lives, and then, when our season starts, I'm editing, and literally it takes me a week to do one episode, and it's only a half an hour, but, and it's not like every hour, but every single day. And, I may rework stuff. I'm a bit funny that way, so it's fun, and I love it.
You've got such a good eye for it, though, honey.
But I love doing it. But it does take like a full week, so I'll be very, very busy soon, constantly.
So I understand the date thing, because I know for us, we don't have a date night. Like if we get in the truck to drive to get something, first thing she says, we're on a date. If we go into the hardware store, we're on a date. If we go across the lines to Holton, Maine, that's what everything for her. When we get in the truck and drive out off this property, everything becomes a date. And I think that you almost have to look at it that way a lot of times, because when you're on the property, there is no time. Really, you're so busy. I know we are, and I'm sure everyone else is. You just push. And if you're it's different if you're in a 2-season climate. Yes. But if you're in a 4-season climate, like here, we are less than 60 days away from our first snowstorm. And so everything is, okay, we got to get this done, and it stays prioritized. But then all of a sudden you throw a wrench into it and messes it up. So you do have to find those times to make it work for you and for each other. Because what sense is it if all of us lose sight of the most important
Right.
things, which number one is God, obviously,
Yeah.
always,
Yeah.
but number two, each other.
Family.
And if you lose sight of that, then you've already failed.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, we agree wholeheartedly. That's why we connect every day at 5:30 for our Melody mentioned a debrief, and
Yeah.
we'll spend some time there. And we also connect all day Saturday.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's our
I
our
love,
worship day, and that's
yeah,
our day out in nature and our day with each other.
yeah, I love the debrief idea.
I do too.
I think if more people would do that, there'd be, I don't know, just a lot of probably issues and problems and situations that are solved through that debrief rather than having to stumble through them again the next day. So that's a really good idea, guys. So, yeah, you know, after this tonight, we're debriefing. Okay.
My husband will be so mad. No.
Yeah, I know.
Every relationship, every relationship has trials, you know, successes,
yeah.
challenges.
Mhm.
We look at our trials as poison trees, and what we like to do is we like to stamp them out when they're seedlings
Oh,
Yes.
my.
and totally obliterate them, because if you don't, they'll grow up.
Yeah.
And as they grow up and mature, they get bigger and bigger. They take on a life of their own. And then what happens? They block out the sun and
Yeah.
you die.
Oh, my.
So what you
And-
have to do is get them when it's easy.
And now with your new Saker saws, it's even easier.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
Better
just
believe
zip,
Right.
zip them things off.
That's right.
Okay, well, let's jump up for a minute over to Johnny and Christine, and the same question. Now, for those that most everybody knows Johnny and Christine, but they have a neat dynamic because Christine works away a lot.
Mhm.
You know, that's her job, and that's
Mhm.
what she has to do for her job. And so there's a lot of times I'm sure that you guys are apart, not by choice, but basically to do your work, to do your job. And so that's part of the interesting dynamic that if we can explore that a little bit tonight, how have you learned to make that work and then to juggle all the work and time for each other and again, date time, and now the YouTube channel, editing, filming.
Mhm.
How do you guys make it work?
Well, as a lot of people may know, she does have a high pressure job. I mean, she was gone. She actually lived in South Dakota for 3 years, and what I would do is I would go up about once every couple of weeks. We've got a little Honda Civic out there that could probably find its way to South Dakota by itself at this point. I mean, thousands upon thousands upon thousands of miles. And but the way we make everything work is, let's talk about our day. How's that?
Yeah.
We get up in the morning. She gets up generally, and I've been slacking on this, and I've got it. Yeah, she's going to tell you slacking. Generally, we get up in the morning, and I make tea in the morning.
Okay.
And so that tea, she drinks it, I don't. But so I make her some tea, and then I go out and take care of the chickens, and she starts working. She's actually got an office in our home, so she starts working. Once I get all the chickens taken care of, I find out what she needs, if there's anything that she needs me to get while I'm out. Then I head to check on the cattle, feed the cattle, move the cattle, do whatever we've got to do with the cattle. Right now we're in hay season, so I'm moving hay. We've got calves we need to sell, so I've got to catch the calves. I've got to get them loaded up and things like that. So that's how it works here. Generally through the week, and that's the reason why most of the videos that I do are just me, is because she is working all day, at least 5 days a week. And so I'm typically out filming on my own. What do you have to add to this?
No, you're doing great. I think one thing is like what Melody and Ryan were saying, is that it's important that we put Christ as the center of our marriage.
Yep.
And without that foundation, none of this works for us.
Right.
We both grew up in Christian homes, but we've also had those times where we weren't involved in church and stuff, in our marriage and stuff. And it works when we put Christ at the center of our relationship. Everything works. And it's kind of like, you've been to those presentations where somebody has the jar and they put all the big rocks in there, and then you say, okay, wait a minute, no, how do we fill all these things we have to do? We prioritize, us, God, family, because we have 4 grandsons too. We have 2 daughters. How do we fit those in? And then we're very active in our church too, which we love. And then work does prioritize. For me, prioritizes a lot. And Johnny is retired, but he's taken on the job of our farms. And that's a blessing to me because he can pick up the slack there while I'm trying to still work out, crisis mode or something at work. There's been a couple times in my lives that I couldn't be there. Jesse filled in, but we have some great friends that help us. It's hard. It's very hard. None of us, I know we don't do it perfectly, and we have our moments. I was a little cranky a while ago,
No.
I never get cranky.
I was handing her a hat earlier.
But we've got to give each other grace. We've been married over, 23 years. Has it always been easy? No, but we both have the same goals. And that makes it work. So
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not probably just repeating what I'm saying now, but
No, it's good.
Excellent.
How, like, juggling the YouTube stuff. Have you found that you've had to constantly readjust how much time you're spending on YouTube or doing YouTube things, or is it become easier, or is it what you thought it was going to be, or is it like, man, this thing has become a life of its own, how are we going to keep up, sort of thing?
Well, usually YouTube, I do most of the video editing. What happens is, even on her channel, we'll film, and then I tell her, okay, break it down into what you actually want used, and then we put it in, and then we start breaking it down from there. So and then on the other channel, the Gillum Farms channel, then I do all of that. I usually start editing about 11 o'clock at night. That's when I usually start, and it's because it's quiet. She's in bed, and I can just, I can really get into it. I can focus on that, because through the day, if you have to stop to do something, like you have to stop to go do this, or you have to stop to go do that, it kind of throws off the editing process a little bit for me. Now, sometimes I will be going through and realize, hey, I don't have the ending that I want, or something like that, and then I'll have to reshoot. But usually I start about 11 o'clock at night, usually finish up. It does, like Melody was talking about, how it takes a week to do an episode. It's like a half hour. It takes me about 4 hours to do one of those. And it's because because it's quiet, and I can kind of just get in there and get it done. There's nothing to disturb me at all at that time of the night. There's no other lives on. Because lives do take up a lot of our time. I mean, we're always trying to support other channels. So sometimes we'll have like 3 lives going at one time on different devices around here, and trying to support everyone.
Yeah.
But then when we get that late at night, it's pretty clear.
Yeah.
So
that gets tiring, because the truth of it is, it's impossible to get to everybody every week all the time.
Yes.
It's an impossibility. Because I've said this 100 times, and I'll say it again. YouTube can be part of your life, but it can't be your life.
Right, exactly.
It just can't. You have to know where those boundaries are.
That's
go ahead.
I was going to say, Good Times Homestead with Jen and Steve, they said they had to back off of YouTube because family, they had to prioritize family, and now they homeschool. So you have to figure out, what are those prioritizations,
Exactly.
That's critical.
Yeah. Hey, Tish, how are you? Let's say hello to a bunch of folks here. Tish is in. So glad you're here. Modest Review, hello to you.
Casey.
Casey, glad you're here. And anybody else that's coming
Coffee
in?
Walks, Deb.
Coffee Walks.
Mhm.
Deb, how are you? So glad
Welcome.
you guys are here. And feel free to pose a question to
Yes.
anybody here.
Yep.
Put a statement up there if you want it. Whatever you want to do, because this is all about you guys too.
Mhm.
Got to focus on the family now, homeschooling, and
That's
that's
it.
it. We homeschooled our kids,
Yeah.
and that takes a lot of time.
Mhm.
And I know for Joni and I, and I'll share this just for transparency's sake. We went through this time where we were feeling guilty because everything here works that we have a very narrow window to get stuff done. And so I work, and that's what I'm good at. I work. But we were feeling guilty because we weren't able to get to all these lives, because when there's a live at 11 in the morning, I'm outside working. When there's a live at 2, I'm out working. When there's live at 4, I'm out working, and I was feeling really, and I'm being honest here, I was feeling really guilty. We both were, that people were coming in and watching our videos and stuff, but we could not return that favor by tuning into their lives, because it was during, for us, what's our work hours that we needed to get work done.
Right.
And we had to get to the place where we had to stop feeling guilty,
Right.
because we couldn't do YouTube like others were doing it. We had to find what worked for us, because it was there for a while. It was driving us crazy,
Yeah.
And when we come in for lunch, which most times we do, if there's things going on, I'll jump on and say hello to a few people, but we can't stay there because we have work to do. And I think for us, that was one of the biggest adjustments.
Yeah.
Is to learn that it's okay that you don't get to everything.
Right.
You still have a life
Or
that you've got
stop
to do.
in and just say hello as you can. A very, very wise person once told us to do that. And so we've been trying to do that.
Yeah, stop in, say hello. So,
well, we have another sweet guest here that we don't want to forget.
No, we don't, and we're not going to. We got mosquitoes flying around here left, right, and center.
Yes.
It's like 98 degrees where we're sitting right now. It is so hot.
It's very hot.
Here. Yeah, it's really hot. Hey, Marshall, good evening to you. Yeah, Jesse, I highly doubt you're that warm. You're an AC, buddy.
It's 73. I'm burning up.
73. Now, I want to bring in Rochelle here because she has a different perspective here. And this is why we asked her to be here. Oh, you brushed your hair. Oh, wow. No, I'm just teasing you. She said that to us when I was talking to her before.
And for those who don't know, Rochelle is another fellow Canadian.
She's a Canadian.
In Ontario.
And in Ontario, province of Ontario. And so, but she comes to us with a different, I guess, look into it, because she does all of her stuff by herself. So talk a little bit about how this all affects you, how you balance, because obviously your husband works, you have a business. There's a lot of other things that are outside of your YouTube channel that you are balancing within YouTube by yourself. So how do you do that?
Poorly. No, the channel has been lacking a lot lately. I don't know. I've kind of taken a step back this whole summer. Just like I really feel guilty saying this, but we have had an absolutely beautiful summer weather-wise. We're in like August was like mid 70s. Oh, wow. We had a few days in the mid 80s in June or July, but honestly, like we've ran our air conditioner. It's on the last 2 days because we're at 91 this week.
Yeah.
But we've probably had our air conditioning on this summer less than a week at this point. Like it's just been mild. That great for the garden, like my zucchini, my squash, everything else would have liked it. But for us, it's just been beautiful. It's been beautiful to just be outside, hang out in the garden, to go for walks, to be out. We would have liked it actually to be a bit hotter so we could go to the beach more often. But my situation, I do work full time, but I work with my husband. We do construction. We work together. So we're together 24/7. And so when it's funny going back, like thinking back, like when my daughter was little and I would go to book and I would go and my friends would always be talking about the importance of date night, how important date night is. And I'm like, we're together 24/7. Like date night? No, like our life, like we're together all the time. Like we need date night apart, right? Like, so I mean, spend a lot of time together, but I do think it's important to be able to have separate interests, right? And so I've had separate hobbies. We got married, we were in our mid-20s. I was 20, gosh, how old was I? 24, 25. He was 4 years older. So, we weren't like super young getting married. Like we both had our own, kind of our life. And then I moved up from Florida to Canada, right? So I didn't know anybody here when I moved up. So I had started a lot of my own hobbies. I was always into crafting. I got into sewing when my daughter was little. So I spent a lot of time doing things like that. And he has, a lot of his own separate. He's into hi-fi equipment and audio stuff. I used to go fishing a lot with the buddies, things like that. And so we were used to spending like our downtime. Like we spend it together. I make sure I'm always breakfast together as a family with my daughter. She's going into grade 9, first day today. So we do that. And then we try to, eat dinner together. I'm pretty strict on, and that way you can kind of, touch it, base and reconnect. But other than that, like we spend a lot of time together, but we also spend a lot of time kind of doing our own things. And so, when 2020 hit and we were in lockdown, like here in Ontario, lockdown.
Yes.
So the first 3 months, like we were home. And that was when we expanded the garden because we'd been talking about doing it, but spring was always a really busy time work-wise. It just never had happened. So we spent a lot of time working in the garden, and I spent a lot of time watching YouTube, like I would get up with my cup of coffee every morning because there's nothing else to do and sit there and watch, an hour or two of YouTube videos, getting ideas, learning a lot of things. Because at the time I really wasn't growing a lot in the way of produce. It was pretty much just flowers because I didn't have a lot of space, like tomatoes and peppers and herbs, and that was it. And then the rest was flowers. And so I just got really into, watching these YouTube videos, but the larger channels, not a lot of the smaller ones. And I am an extrovert. I am a people person. Yeah. I need people around me. Like the idea, or, people that live on a homestead and their neighbors are like a mile or 2 miles apart. Like I can't even fathom that. I live in a townhouse of 800,000 people.
Trying Island,
GTA, which is the greater Toronto area, which has about 6 million people within a 1 hour radius. So people everywhere. There's people everywhere. Go for a walk with Dexter in the afternoon, and I will stop and talk with half a dozen neighbors, go to the park, talk with people. That's what I'm used to. I really, really love interacting. Like I'm the person that will be chatting with someone in the grocery store, or heaven forbid I go to Fabricland, different people. So when we got into lockdown, I was just like, this really stinks. And so I did spend a lot of time online, chatting with my friends. And I was always heavily involved in the online gardening communities on message boards and then Facebook. And I decided to, what? My husband could care less about the gardening aspect of it beyond, he enjoys the garden being out there, but he does not need to know every kind of seed I want to buy. And I was like, I need an outlet. I need an outlet that I can talk and I can share things with, and maybe someone will listen, maybe someone will care. So basically I started my YouTube video. I wasn't out there to try and make money. I wasn't out there really to build a big channel. Rochelle. Thanks, Paul. Basically, it was just to be an outlet for me to communicate and interact and to reach people. And so in that way, both my husband and my daughter were really happy to have me have that outlet, because it took the pressure off of them from having to be as involved or listening to my plans for the garden. Right. So in a way, maybe it saved my marriage. No. So neither one of them care about, I could spend as much time as I want, as long as they're not like, where's dinner? Cause I'm sitting on someone's life for 3 hours, that kind of a thing. But honestly, it's not, it doesn't really get in the way too much. It's just like, I think the times my husband gets frustrated, it's like, well, you need to do this. I'm like, okay, but I have to film it and I can't film it right now. And so it's going to have to wait. And so that kind of can get a little.
Yes. I was just going to ask Rochelle, does he understand
he
all
does,
that's involved?
he does, and he appreciates the amount of work and the
Yeah.
hard work that goes into it.
Mm-hmm. Good.
He understands that.
Good.
And anytime I try to skimp on something, I'll be like, oh, maybe he's like, no. So
Yeah.
he's all about production value, production quality.
Right.
Good.
So like he'll watch a few of the other channels with me. I do watch like Garden Answer because they are like the pinnacle of all gardening channels, right? They have the channel out there. There are over 101.5 million viewers or whatever. So I do kind of keep up on that because I mean I am in a gardening, that's my genre, I guess you would say, right?
Yes.
So I keep an eye on some of those just to, but I'm not going to be at that level ever, like quality wise.
So then what you're saying kind of answers my second question too, and I'm going to bring it back to Ryan and Melody here. So basically COVID, the lockdown, all of that is what really was the jump off point or what moved you towards the YouTube channel then and got you started on that. So if we can come back over here, I want to get Jesse and Lisa involved in just 1 second, guys. But I know Ryan and Melody have 1,000 things they're probably wanting to get to.
Yes.
But here's the question, and I'm going to come back up to the top here in a minute too. But why an island? Why now? And just that kind of thing,
So why an island? That was a fluke. We were looking for property. The fact that it was an island was just so amazing. And I'm totally the opposite of Rochelle. So like I'm happy to be just with a small circle of friends and family that I love. I'm better one-on-one like that. Just because I feel like, in my job for my whole entire career, I was around people nonstop on the phone, nonstop recruiting people at big events, with 12,000 people at an event. And I just, you're on for that moment, but then you just need time to replenish your energy. And so this island, it has been just a haven. It's been a haven for us, really. Yeah. So I love it. And then our friends are, right there. You guys are all there. And so, and we feel a special bond with all of you, really. So that's all that we need. I mean, right?
And you've got that awful cute dog.
Yeah. Go ahead, Ryan.
The other aspect is who knows what's going on with this crazy world we live in.
That's
it. I'm not going to get into any politics or anything like that, but if things were to go completely south and there was anarchy everywhere and people started going property to property, just kind of taking over, or the have-nots were trying to take from the haves or whatever, you just don't know, right? And if we're on an island, there's less chance we're going to be bothered.
Yeah. And so
they'll get the low-hanging fruit first.
No, honey.
Yeah. And so the second part, why now? Like, I don't know how old you are at all.
And you don't have to tell us.
You don't have to tell us. But was there something is this been a 5-year ongoing deal? Or did you wake up one day and say, honey, we're buying an island?
Well, definitely for us, the catalyst was COVID, definitely, because although I had wanted to do this, I think that was the urgency. When I started seeing everybody just kind of follow the masses, like for me, I'm not really that kind of a person. I'm more like, we just kind of do our thing. It felt weird. And I was like, you know what, maybe it'd be good to have our own country, to have our own land. And that's kind of how we feel like on this island. Like it feels like our own little country. Like there's no rules. We can just kind of do whatever we want. But I don't know. I think that was the catalyst, was COVID for sure. Pardon me, the C word, but that's what it was. Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know we weren't supposed to say that word. So,
well, I don't know either, but
I don't know either.
Yeah, and
we try to be careful, but we just get going.
Yeah.
That's what we do. So I know, and Jesse and Lisa, I want to bring you in here too, because you guys have a very unique relationship. If we back up here a few years, you know, again, you've heard us tell it before, but we've known Jesse and Lisa before they ever had a channel, before they ever modded, before she was in the shipping department, and before before he was the mod father.
Yes.
And they came over to our channel from another channel, and we've been the best of friends ever since. I mean, we talk a lot, and we share. I mean, yeah, and we share so much, you know, and we're there for each other. But they bring a totally different kind of a in the burbs, the suburbs, if you would. And
they
so
are
we've
retired.
watched their like we knew them before Jesse retired, and it's neat. But you know, it seems like the big C was Rochelle's, you know, springboard. The same with Melody and Ryan now. And then Jesse was working from home, and I think schools were shut down, if I remember correctly. So Lisa was home, and yet they were working from home. But then we've evolved with them as Jesse's retired, and now has become this, you know, the mod father and all of these things. And Jesse is the jam, or Lisa's the jam lady, and so there's this big personality there with them both now that we all love and enjoy so much, but they bring a different aspect to this community that is different than a lot of others. So the same question to you guys, like your daily regimen, you know, how do you guys, because Jesse and I, we laugh a lot, but all jokes aside, there's a juggling, there's a, you know, and Jesse's come through, you know, losing his mom, and he's there for his dad, and you know, all those sort of things. So how do you guys, with all the channels you mod for and all the giveaways you do and all the people you help, how do you guys juggle all of these things with family time, each other time, all of it? How do you guys make it work?
It's
He
real
stays
simple.
on his side and I go to my side.
That's why there's a shipping department and a mod father department.
It's real simple. I'll let her do it all.
There you go.
I ain't scared to do it all.
Then I don't have to worry about getting in trouble for doing it wrong. But I want to go back to a couple. I wrote down some notes as everybody was talking. But the first thing I want to talk about is Melody mentioned the first thing that she does when she gets up in the morning is she has her devotions or she thinks about God and so forth. Let me tell you, the first thing I think about, I have my devotion, but I'm saying, God, can I make it to the restroom? That's the first thing on my mind is, can I make it to the restroom? When you get to be my age, that's the first thing on your mind is, can I make it? Can I make it?
Help me make it through the night.
You know, and I'm saying sometimes, Lord, leave me by, just give me 10 more minutes to sleep and then I'll get up and go. But just hold it.
So what you're telling us is that your anthem now is that old song, Help Me Make It Through the Night.
That's right.
Yeah, okay.
Make it through the night. Yeah. And you know, I can tell she's corporate. When she talking about debriefing, I got away from debriefing. My idea of debriefing is going to take a shower, taking my briefs off. That's my debriefing.
Yeah.
I knew he was going to say that.
I was going to go there, but you beat me to it.
And then you know, all this YouTube stuff, it's a lot of work. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's a lot of the modding is a lot of work. You know, the supporting channels like the Gillum said, we support a lot of channels. We try to support as many as we can, and it's hard. You'd be surprised. I've had as many as 4 lives up at one time, trying to just visit and mod for each one, and it's difficult to support all of them all the time. You know, but
you have to pick and choose.
We have to pick and choose, and sometimes we'll. On a Tuesday night, we'll have to pick somebody else other than this channel, and then you know Thursday night, you change it around. The part about editing, you know, as Johnny tells, he says he does his in 4 hours. Well, I wish I could do mine in 4 hours.
Yeah,
I'm not that good yet because you know the average, and I use DaVinci, and it's pretty intense editing software.
Yeah,
but they say the average Now this is getting started. I've gotten a lot better. Was 1 hour for every minute of video that you put out. So if you put out an 8-minute video, you're going to work on that video for 8 hours. That's editing, that's cleaning, that's adding music, doing voiceover, whatever you're going to do. It takes 1 hour for every 1 minute of. Now I've cut that down to like probably 45 minutes now. 40 minutes. I can do 1 minute for every 40 minutes. But it takes us a long time to do that, and that takes a lot of time out of your. Yeah. That takes a lot of time out of your day.
Yeah.
And because I know people realize this, but when you start a YouTube channel, which we were pushed into, when you start a YouTube channel, you don't just go on there and sign up and create an account. If you want it to succeed, or if you want to have any kind of success, you got to work at it.
Yeah.
And
got to work it, sister.
You got to work it. You got to put in the time. You got to. And now, I'm sure one of you guys said this, but now your mindset changes. Like Rochelle said, everything you do, you're thinking, oh, I need to video this. I got to. You're thinking in the video sense now, and you're not thinking about, well, let's just go to XYZ park. Okay, well, should I video it? Maybe somebody else might want to see the park, or maybe they want to see what we're doing at the park. So you're always thinking that way, which just basically takes time away from your personal, and now it's in your YouTube family. Or
so what? I'm just going to jump in just for a second, Jesse, and then come right back to you. But in the comment section, I'd like to know, have some folks put in there how long that they actually take to edit their videos, if you edit or not. I know for me, our last mill video, we had 73 clips, and I worked on it for 3 days. And it's a lot of work. It really, truly is. But others can do it quickly. So, it's whatever, I guess, whatever you want to do with it, I guess, is what the difference is. So,
and you watch your videos as you're editing, but I can guarantee you, and everybody else down here in the panels is probably the same way, but I know I've watched my video at least 20 times, if not more, before you hit publish.
Yeah.
And then every time you watch it, you see, oh, I forgot to take that out, or I forgot to add that, or you're
doing?
working
Paul
on
Honeyman said, put that on your forehead.
Oh, Paul.
Do it.
But everybody has their their method for how they do their editing. And some people don't even edit at all. Some people just start it and let it play, and what comes out comes out. I'm not that gutsy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. My wife would kill me if I put in everything that she said wrong, because I'd have to bleep, bleep everything. Bleep, 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 bleep. No, she doesn't do that.
Jesse never says anything wrong.
And then Rochelle said something about she needed an outlet, and she probably does need an outlet, or needed an outlet back when we went to during the pandemic. The only time I need an outlet, so I need to plug something in, put light on something. My outlet is, believe it or not, YouTube. People say, well, why are you always in the? I love it. I love supporting channels. My dad will tell you I'm on it 24/7, as much as I can. Now I do get burned out. Yes, I do. But my outlet is
when we go to Ollie's.
Talking to you guys. And even if I'm on the panel, just listening to you guys, listen to the guys and watching the chat and joking with everybody. I love it. That's my outlet. YouTube is my outlet. I don't even watch TV. Now football season's coming up. I'm gonna watch football, but how many watch TV anymore? I don't watch TV. Yeah. There's no time for TV. I'm retired and I barely have time for TV.
Yeah.
So
well, it's a lot of work. It really is. And I think for us, the same things, like we start every day. I cannot even think of a day that we haven't started with God. So go ahead, Jesse.
Did you want to say anything, Lisa? Sorry.
I was going to come back to her. No, I was going to.
No, I mean,
I'm sorry.
That's fine. Go ahead now. That's fine.
No, I was going to say, Melody talks about debriefing, but, we debrief all day long. We're together. We're both retired, and I'm thankful. I see those school buses go by and I'm like,
hallelujah.
Bye. Hi.
Better you than me.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice, just taking care of the dog and jamming and canning and
taking care of me.
Yep, cooking.
But I have heard a lot of people say, us included, that YouTube was harder than any job they ever did.
Yeah, hands up. YouTube was harder than you thought.
As far as work.
Anybody?
No.
Yeah, I would say that.
I mean, as far as doing it, getting it done the way.
Yeah.
Well, the hard part is devoting the time. That's the hard part, because now you're taking your time away from your ranch, your farm, your car.
It's not
home.
hard.
No.
It's labor intensive.
It's labor.
Well, yes,
intensive, yeah.
labor intensive. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
I didn't realize Mike was.
yeah, no, it's fine,
No,
Ryan.
that's
It's
good.
fine. What I find is I'm the type of person, like we always said, no grass grows under my feet, because I'm always going, just boom, 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 boom. I don't stop. And because of that, I guess the biggest inconvenience for me is I now have to take the time to set up the camera, make sure we got the shots, sometimes do a shot again, do your intro, do your close, all of those things. And there are days, trust me, especially before we got moved into the house and we're just working on it, there have been days like I just didn't want to film. I want to get work done. Don't interrupt me with the camera.
Yeah.
And I'm being honest.
It does slow you down,
There
for
was
sure.
a lot of days I
Yes.
felt that way.
Yes.
But then you come back and say, but if you're going to do it,
Mm-hmm.
people want to see what you're doing, and then you've got to take the time to present it in a good way, So he says, I'm making bank on Facebook like 10 times what I make on YouTube. Well, I can say this right now. If you're on YouTube for the money,
It ain't there.
yeah. The myth of monetization.
That's another topic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the truth is, like,
Yeah.
It ain't
you're just,
happening. Yeah.
there's this mad dash. Let me say this. There's this mad dash towards, if I can get it monetized and get that monetization, and I can get that partnership program with Google, and everyone thinks that's going to change your world. Oh man, I'm going to listen. You make pennies. If there's anybody in here just getting started, you make pennies. You don't really make much money. Now you do get a lot of offers to try out saws and all that stuff. And once you get big enough, you'll get, big companies that are sponsoring you, and that's where your money comes from.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're just waiting to make a bank on a video, I've got one video there, and I looked at it today that's been up for 2 years, over 50,000 views, and made $358. So
yeah, so it's
Yeah,
very.
I will
very
know I've made it
disheartening.
once I get a sponsorship from a bacon company.
Yeah, bacon company.
Bacon.
All right, a question for all of you guys. If something had to be, for lack of a better word, neglected,
Take a back seat.
or put in the back seat with the way things are right now in your lives with your channels and all that, what would that one thing be that you could look at what you're doing right now and go, you know what? That's the least important. We can let that take a back seat just for a little while.
Paul Honeyman has to leave us.
Paul's gonna leave. Okay,
Thank you, Paul, so much for coming in. Have a
Take
great
care,
week.
man.
Good week, Paul.
This one's easy. That
What, Rochelle?
What, Rochelle? You got it.
housework.
Housework. Okay.
Two
Who
other
cares?
people live here. They can pick up the slack. Yeah.
There you go. Ryan and Melody.
I got a
what-
14-year-old. She's got to learn.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That's true too. What do you guys think?
Yeah, we're having a hard time with this one.
Well,
I don't know.
we'd probably switch to paper plates.
Yeah.
I hear you
Oh,
on
I
that
see.
one.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Christine,
Yeah.
Johnny, is there one thing that you can look at the whole scenario and go, you know what? That one thing there just isn't that important. We can kind of put that in the back seat for a while. Anything?
We were just asking each other, and we couldn't think of anything either. I'm a little too OCD to let anything just,
Yeah.
So, I'm like right now I'm freaking out because the house isn't where I want it to be, but,
You can't move your house.
I mean, yeah. But I don't know. I mean, I think unfortunately, when you don't let something slide, that's less important. Something's going to take the hit, whether it be YouTube, relationships, family, I don't know. Something's, you can't juggle every single ball and not have a mishap. And that's where you got to reprioritize and try again, give yourself grace and keep going.
Yeah.
But,
Jesse, Lisa, what do you guys think?
Well, mine is housework. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Which is no different than what I do now.
Yeah.
It suffers right now.
Yeah.
I absolutely love Ryan and Melody's answer. I'm with you on that one. But again, where we're all at in this journey in our lives, it's going to affect our answer. Like we don't have a well. I don't know about you guys, Ryan and Melody, we're off grid. So of course you guys are surrounded by water, but
See you, Danny.
We have to bring our water in at this point, and I value that water is, I told Tony, I said, that water is just as precious to me as money, maybe even more so. Like I'm not wasting a drop of it. He knows. And so I totally get what you said, but like where we're all at on our journeys, that our answers are going to totally be different.
It's just like what Ginger said, not for nothing, Homestead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but it said new projects, sometimes they have to be put off. And that's probably where ours is that we have lots of projects. I always have lots of projects for Johnny, but we have to prioritize what those are.
Yeah. Well, I know for us, like our projects going into the fall were the watershed, because we have to have our water catchment system. We have to have that going into the winter.
Yeah.
We just do. It's got to be done. But then we wanted the solar set up and to get all that done. And then there was the woodshed that we wanted to get built because, we don't want 5 cord of wood, out in the snow.
Right.
We got almost almost 5 feet of snow here last year.
Yes.
So that's no fun.
Yes.
No
fun.
So but then, it's okay. We need the firewood cuts. We've got to cut 5 cord of wood and split 5 cord of wood. And that's all done by hand. Well, then we got to get lumber milled, the logs milled, because we're, our home, we're cutting all of the lumber for it from logs on our mills. So you have to have the lumber milled to be drying so that when winter does come, we can use the lumber inside the house.
Right.
And so all these things were piling on top until here a couple of weeks ago, I backed up and said, you know what? What can we not do? And one of the things was the woodshed, and I was telling Jesse about this the other day. So our fix for it, and I think this is what helps us, is the fix for it is we're taking those IBC totes, the cages from the IBC totes. We're just putting all of our wood in those. We're just going to bring them up here by the house. We're putting a piece of plywood over top of each one. And that will stop any snow and rain getting down in it. And then the air flow through it will keep it drying it. So I don't have to build the woodshed now. So that was huge.
Right.
But you're right. New projects, sometimes I don't know about you guys, but I'm the type of person, I want to get it done now. I don't want to wait to get it done. I want to get it done now.
More like yesterday.
And that's probably my biggest struggle is telling myself it's okay, you didn't get it done right now.
Yes.
Yes. Because it can get tough. It really can. So, but anyway, so housework, we don't have to worry about that a whole lot here because, I mean, look, it's insulation and paper barrier.
Yes, but there's still stuff that needs done.
Yeah, but Joni does keep that place pretty picked up.
She sure does.
Well, I try to.
Yeah.
It's not too fun sweeping OSB though.
Yeah. So
anyone who's ever done it.
Yeah. Here's the final thing here. If you could give 3 cautions to every new YouTube a person that's starting a channel, what would be 3 things that you would look at a new YouTuber and say, Here's what you have to be careful of.
Great question.
You know, Johnny, Christine, you guys start.
All right. First off, just like you said, the myth of monetization, and it's true. We, you know, I guess for the amount of time that we've been doing this and stuff like that, we haven't done horrible. I mean, you know, it's been okay, but it does the pay on YouTube is extremely low.
Yes.
Like I'll give you an example. You go out and say you have to drive anywhere to do your video. You're gonna use fuel.
Yeah.
So whenever you use fuel, you know, you have that expense, and then you know, just anything that you do, if you really think that, you know, if your video doesn't get, you know, thousands upon thousands of views, it's going to be, you're not going to make the amount of money back that it took to create.
Well, just
the
to have
video.
internet. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, think about that. Think about paying for the internet a month, and then all that stuff. So that would be one of the.
don't go into.
I mean, if you go into it with the thought of, I'm going to start a YouTube channel and I'm going to hit it big, and I'm just going to be, you know, that's where all my income is going to come from now on, is going to be YouTube. Yeah, I know. I see the laugh. I hear the laugh. No,
good luck with that.
See that, and they did it years and years ago. But
there's a few. There's certain people that have, and it's just like the lottery. You know, there's certain people that hit that lottery, and then there's a bunch of people that have. And I hate to say it, there's a lot of people that have just as good a content as the big channels do.
Yes.
They have just as good content.
Just as good. I agree.
There's huge. I mean, there's these great small gym channels that are all over the place.
Yes.
They have just as good, if not better, content than the huge channels, but they're just not breaking in. I mean, it's just one of those things. I figure YouTube's out there picking winners and losers all the time. So
what's 2 and 3?
So 2 and 3. Just realize that whenever you're filming, the most mundane project that you're going to do is going to take you 10 times longer to do it if you film it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So you're going to have to, you know, it's going to take you a long time if you're going to film. So if you're filming taking the trash out, it's going to take you, and it takes you 5 minutes to take trash out. It's going to take you, you know, 25, 30 minutes to do it by filming. The other thing, sound. Sound is a huge nemesis for us, you know, volume, getting the volume right and things like that. We've had videos that we put out in the past where we would listen to it on our iPhone or something like that, and the volume was great. But when somebody would watch it on their TV, the volume wasn't good.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's because they set their TV for the music, maybe the opening music or something like that of your video. And then your volume, your speaking volume is so much different than your music volume that it will throw it off. And a lot of people will jump off because of
bad audio. Yeah. So the 3 things then would be the monetization myth. The second thing would be, you know, it's going to take a lot more time to do stuff,
to complete projects.
And the third thing would be
sound.
Do good audio. So Ryan, Melody, 3 things you could. I'm a new YouTuber. I'm just getting started. What are 3 things you can caution me about?
Oh, well, that's the thing. It's like the blind leading the blind there then, because we don't know enough, like, to be able to tell other people. But what I can say is that for me personally, it's a way, way better and more fun experience than I ever could have imagined. You know, in my life, like, my work has been strenuous and stressful and exhilarating, but you know, I mean, there's a means to an end there. With this, we're just documenting our life. And like, it's just honestly, for us, it's literally just fun every single day for me. Like I've never had one moment of stress with this. Like, it's just fun. So
Awesome.
yeah, like for us,
we're just gonna nickname you guys the honeymooners.
Yeah.
It's just fun because we're just documenting what we do. And there's of course, we're never going to make money, so that's obviously not the reason for it, but we did just want to document it and then to be able to look back. And I love it. I love every moment of it, honestly. I do.
It's
So
fun
then
to kick
perhaps
back.
What's that,
Sorry?
Ryan? No, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's fun to kick back and watch the old reruns, you know?
It is.
It is.
It's really cool to do that. And I think what you're saying there is then if we were new YouTubers, I think what you're really telling me then is enjoy the journey.
Yeah.
Don't
make
sweat
it
the
fun.
small stuff. Make it fun.
Make it fun.
And realize that
hey, that's a merch slogan for you.
There you go. Because I know, like, we've had a pile of challenges here on our property. We had a horribly wet spring and summer, which really complicated everything we did. I mean, we had it was a struggle, but we still found it's fine. We still found ways to make it fun. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm of the adage that the good Lord told me. He said, "I've given you joy unspeakable." And so sometimes when you're in a great mood, you're not going to be able to explain why. You're just in a good mood. And I think with homesteading and building, especially, I mean, the challenges are real for you guys. I mean, sure, we had water, but you guys, your island's surrounded by water. You got to get everything on a barge. You have to bring everything on boats, and it's all, there's no just running to the store. So just going to get some more screws or a new hammer, it's an all-day journey, you know. It reminds me of the Kilchers in Alaska, you know, with their barge. But that's what I'm taking from what you're saying is enjoy the journey, you know.
Well, we also just realized that, you know, honestly, time is short, isn't it? Like, I'm 56, he's 58. We've already lived, you know, a good amount of time. We're not going to have that much longer before we're going to start to really feel aches and pains. And we just want to live it up.
Whoa, we're already feeling really aches and pains.
Yeah.
We're all the same age then.
Yeah, we just want to live it up now and just experience. And it doesn't mean that our life building isn't hard, because we definitely have challenges literally every day. But the YouTube experience is what makes our life like super joyful now. Hey, about it.
That's awesome. I love that.
It's fun.
That's awesome. That's so wonderful to hear.
Yeah, you were saying don't sweat the small stuff. We don't even sweat the big stuff.
Yeah, well, that's great.
We really don't.
That's awesome.
Great.
You're in Canada. It's not hot enough to sweat.
Yeah.
Oh, really? What's this stuff?
Oh, right.
But that's great, because my takeaway from what you're saying in a nutshell is have the right mindset going into it.
Attitude.
The attitude. Yeah. Attitude determines altitude. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Good.
That's right.
Good stuff.
Yeah. You know, and
I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah.
Just give me credit. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
I am up in the loft.
Yeah,
so that's good stuff.
That's awesome to hear.
Rochelle, what same thing. What are a couple things you'd throw my way if I was a new YouTuber?
Well,
Gilliam's
took all the good ones.
Johnny, Christine.
Just don't take it too seriously. Like, don't stress about it, you know. Especially when I first started out, like, why did you start a channel?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, so many times we get caught up on the numbers and the hours and where are you at and competing. Oh, this person's got this and this. Why did you start? I started was watching these big YouTube channels, and they all have these huge gardens, and I live in a townhouse, and my yard is like, I don't know what, like 18 feet wide by whatever the length is. It's about 70 feet. Like, it's small. It looks bigger because it's on the right hand side, and I'm slowly taking over the neighborhood. But it's very. So I was watching one video, and she was doing like the different rooms of the garden. And the garden tour was like an hour, and it was part 1. And I just started laughing, and I was like, oh, I could do a garden tour. It'd be like 5 minutes. Here's the garden. Right.
Yeah.
And then I stopped and I thought, you know what? There's got
That's right.
to be other people that are in my city, people
Great
that are
quote.
watching these videos, but that are living in an apartment or living in an urban. And like around here, they have the big, huge homes, and they're putting them on these postage sized lots. Like, even if you have a nice big house, you have no land. And so a lot of people just think, oh, well, you can't grow anything. You can't grow food. And so that was my passion, was to be able to share what I'm growing and to hopefully inspire other people that are in, you know, a suburban setting, in a small town lot, in an apartment, that, you know what, you can grow quite a bit of food in a very small space, and flowers. You can make it pretty. It doesn't have to just be funky. And you can do that. So that was my goal. So what, 10 subscribers or 2,000 subscribers, that shouldn't matter. It does. It does. Like, it's exciting when you hit a new milestone. Like, it's important. If you don't have those goals, then your channel never will grow. But to just kind of, when you kind of like, oh my gosh, you know, my subs are down this week, no one's watching my video, stop and think, why? What was your motivation to start with? What brought you joy to start with? What do you love about what you do? And it just really helps to put it in perspective. And I think that kind of helped me to take a step back this summer and realize, you know what, I can, you know, spend 2 hours doing a live, an hour getting set up ahead of time, and then I do the 2 hours, and for what, 50 cents? Like, it's like, well, I can go and do all that for like, you know, 2.5 hours and make 50 cents. Or I can go spend the evening at the park with my daughter and my friend and Dexter. And so trying to, like, first year especially, and then once you get monetized and you realize, you get that first, you know, your first month's amounts, and you're like, really? Like,
and people don't realize, even on super chats,
we get for free.
Well, super chats. I mean, people
I think I've had
like those. And then they realize, hold on a minute, 45% of it's gone because YouTube and Google's taking 45% of every super chat. So, you know, I've seen people, I've talked to people that were really upset because someone sent them $100 and they ended up with 55 or 60. And it's like, they're stealing my money. Well,
no, because they're the ones providing you the form.
Yeah, well, that's it.
$55.
As Jesse always said, you're playing in their sandbox.
Exactly.
You know, they're providing you the platform, they're providing you helps, they're providing you the vehicle to get your content out there. So they're not going to do that for free. You know, Jesse, Lisa, what are a couple things you guys would tell newbies as they're getting started?
Well, so everything has pretty much been covered, but the things I want to add are analytics. YouTube or YouTube Studio gives you the ability to analyze your videos. Take advantage of the analytics because it tells you a lot. There's a lot of information you can get from analytics. You know, when is the best time to put your video out? When is the best time to put a video out that your crowd watches? Not everybody, but your crowd, the crowd that are following you. And believe it or not, if you look at your analytics, there's probably more people that aren't following you watching your videos than are. Trust me, there's a lot of people watching your videos that aren't subscribed to you. Now, you'd like to turn those numbers around. But, you know, use your analytics. The analytics are there for you as a tool.
For sure.
The other thing is, I mean, and I'm no big channel. There's probably channels here way bigger than me. So I'm the last person you ought to seek advice from. But I've always heard that if you want to be a millionaire, you know, hang around millionaires. You want to be poor, hang around poor people. You know what I'm saying? Just in general. But, you know, I try to look at videos for not just for the content, but what are they doing? What ideas are they using? What makes that video such a, why is this, the one I watched last night have 17 million views? 17 million views, one video. It was a construction video of a couple that built a home using no power tools.
It was incredible.
All hand tools. They built that. So that was their premise. They were going to build a house to show you can live off grid, off grid with no power tools. And it got 17 million views. And the thing I got from them is not just the fact that they were building, but they were using different angles to get different viewpoints of the shots, and it's just amazing. So that's what I picked up from that. And lastly, and not most important, but lastly, thumbnails. Folks, put up videos. If you're a new YouTuber, put a thumbnail out there. Don't just have a picture of whatever YouTube, because YouTube will pick a thumbnail for you. They'll grab a shot out of your video and make that your thumbnail. But thumbnails is the key to what tells people, oh, I want to watch that, or I want to check that out. And you can call it clickbait or whatever, but a thumbnail is actually the first window that they see of what that video is going to be about, or not be about.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Oh yeah, YouTube picks the worst. Like
They've
the
always
worst
picked the
shot.
worst.
It's always like,
yeah,
or it's like, what? No.
Yeah.
And every one of these answers deserve their own time. They really do. They're all topics in and of themselves. They're all so very important.
Well, I think with content, we've said it 100 times. I may like cucumber sandwiches, but you may not. Mm-hmm. And it's the same thing. Content is relative.
Relevant.
No, relative. and we have to understand that.
Yes.
I think so many people that start YouTube channels and do their filming, they really think it's Hollywood. They do. For a lot of people, they really think this is going to be so dynamic, and then all of a sudden it's up there and they get 15 views the first 24 hours and they crash because it's a roller coaster. Melody, she's laughing at me. But a lot of times people have to put it in perspective and realize, number one, don't act, because we're not actors.
No.
People want you real.
They can spot a fake
people
a mile
want
away.
us real.
Yes.
They don't want us. If they want acting, they'll watch a movie on Netflix.
Well, they'll watch Hollywood.
They
Exactly.
don't want actors. They want people to be honest. They want people to be pure of heart, and they want to see what's going on. That's why they're watching. And so that's one thing I would tell people right out of the gate: be who you are, because you're the best you.
Yes.
Don't try to. No, don't try to be like the Gillums, or don't try to be like Ryan and Melly. Don't try to be like Rochelle and Jesse and Lisa. Honest folks, if you're listening, there's one mod father. There'll always be one mod father, and he's it.
Yeah,
that's just the way it is, But there's, go ahead.
Oh, and I was gonna add, I'm surprised he didn't say anything, but when and he's the mod father. When you start a new channel, eventually you will get moderators, but you need to have somebody who you can trust.
Exactly.
Very good, Lisa.
Don't just make everybody, and I heard him tell this, don't make everybody a wrench.
Yeah.
You got to have somebody who can protect your channel.
Yeah.
They need to be wrench worthy, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so you're right, but you have to be that honest about it.
Hey, Dave and Sandy.
And everything. The second thing is, you may think it's great, others may not.
Dave and Daisy.
So we have to be willing to accept that criticism and that critique without it ruining your day. I mean, you just have to, because how many on here's got a negative comment on your videos or something? I have. You're on here long enough, you're going to get negative feedback. Mm-hmm. There are people out there that do nothing in life but sit there and pick it apart. But don't worry about it. It doesn't have to affect you. And that's one thing I'd say there. And I think the third thing that I would say is edit for good content.
So let me answer this Freedom Redbird question here. She said, should you really make a thumbnail for your live? So you don't have to make a thumbnail for your live, because you're fixing to go live and you're going to talk whatever here. The thumbnail is for the people that come visit you after your current live. You can go live without a thumbnail. But if you want people you want to capture them and say, oh, let me go back. They talked about this or they talked about that, and consistency. Be consistent with your lives and your thumbnails, because they can relate. When you see that Redbird, you're going to know that that's Brenda. When you see my thumbnail for my lives, it's the same. I use the same one, so everybody sees that. Oh, that's Jesse and Lisa. I mean, you can change it if you want to, but sometimes it can get confusing. But
so
I would definitely.
Yeah,
put it
Rochelle,
on
go ahead, Rochelle.
I had one more thought. Like when it comes to editing, especially when you first start out and you're starting a channel, I'm going to sit and watch a 20-minute or 30-minute video on someone I don't know. Like, I'm just not. It's not going to happen. So when you start out, if you have like longer content, maybe break it up into a couple shorter videos, or at least put a couple short 3 to 4 minutes. Because, you know, especially if you're trying to get subscribers and you want people to watch, if I see you in a group and I'm like, oh, they seem interesting, and I go to check out their channel and you only have like long videos, it's not going to happen. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Your videos might be amazing. You might be amazing. I might never find that out because I already have so many people that I cannot just add more people in unless, you know, I really feel that I'm going to enjoy the content or the video or it's relevant to me. So as Coco Chanel always says, you know, when you get all dolled up and when you go to the mirror right before you walk out of the house and take off one accessory. When your video is done, just about to publish it, cut it. Go in and cut.
Be brutal.
Be brutal.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll do that. And I'm sure there's still things that I leave in that people think, oh yeah, let's move it along. But you know, until we think, oh my God, what we're saying or what we're doing is so fascinating, and to other people, it's not. And fortunately for me, my husband is brutally honest, and he's like, no one wants to hear about that. Wrap it up. So I've gotten a lot more judicious in my editing.
Right.
But like, if something can be sped up, like I do that a lot. Like the process that I'm doing, like I'm planting this or I'm digging this, and they want to watch what I'm doing, I put it on like 8 times.
Yeah.
So you see what I'm doing, but what would take 5 minutes takes 30 seconds now.
And I
try to do that as much as I can.
Yeah, and that's a great tip, because what I've been doing, and I want to get to software here in a minute, because that was a good question brought up too by Lee.
Fisherman 506.
But I just want to jump in here with this. One thing I do, and this is, please don't anyone get their feelings hurt or get insulted, but if you are a slow talker, put your play speed like 1.25 through your entire video. It's amazing. You can cut 6-8 minutes off of your video just by changing your control or your time stamp on your timeline on the speed of playback. I play mine all the time. I set every clip, and I'm a pretty fast talker, but I still set mine to 1.25, and that shaves minutes off of that video. And it keeps people's minds engaged because there's no dead air, and there's nothing worse. Let's face it. There's nothing worse than dead air. I mean, there just isn't,
Right.
But anyway,
but on the viewer side too, Tony, on the viewer side, talking about that, when you watch a video, always watch it in 1.5 or 2.0 speed. You'll get through a 30-minute video really quick.
I do that, especially if it's a slow talker. I can't handle it if it's too slow, and I'm like, whoop, let's speed this up, baby. I got other videos to watch.
So everyone, next question is going to be about your editing software, so we can answer that for Lee. But Johnny, go ahead.
I'm an odd duck. Here we go.
And it's duck season.
The longer the video, the more I like it. I watch a lot of Andrew Camarado. I watch a lot of Diesel Creek.
Me too.
I love movies, or I love the videos that are, an Andrew Camarado videos that says mowing the lawn. It's an hour and 50-something minutes. I'm going to watch every second of it. And but I watch it on TV, and I watch it like it's a movie. So it's like, get the popcorn, sit down, and watch it. And to me, if a video is too short, if I don't feel like I can get anything out of it because it's too short, like shorts, I don't even see myself. I do not see the point of shorts. I've put a few shorts out there, but they're just so short. I mean, I'm like, by the time, as soon as it's over, I'm like, well, wow.
But again, it's all relative, because there's people that have built their channels on shorts.
Yes.
I
Yes.
know, but the
Yeah.
thing is like you said, it's a different mindset. I grew up
Absolutely.
like you guys. Most of you guys are in the same age range as I am.
Except Rochelle.
And, the thing is, now people are, you know, they don't have any attention span. There's no attention span. And Rachel down there, she was talking about that, you know, cut it, because people are going to get bored. And it's because there's so many shorts, there's reels, there's, you know, all these things out there. And me, I like things for, and I'm not even looking at the comments over there right now because
don't read them, Johnny.
But I like to watch. I call it. I'm looking for that hidden gem. I'm the guy watching your video on a 65-inch TV, and I'm looking for what's in the background. Right.
He's the background. I just gonna say that.
What's that thing right there? Is that? Are they going to talk about that? And then I can put a comment about something, or they'll put a little nugget of wisdom somewhere in that somebody else would have cut out because they thought it's not relevant. But I catch it and I go, oh, okay, that. And so that's the reason why I like to do it that way. I mean, it's just me. I grew up in a different time. We watched movies.
Yeah, but
You know.
I mean,
So
you find
shorts,
your audiences that way though too. You know.
so shorts and reels are basically a trailer to your video, to your
Right, that's
channel.
how I look at it.
They're channel trailers. That's all they are.
Yeah.
See, and I think this is a good topic here because I think too.
Hey, Dave and Sandy.
Hey, Dave and Sandy. Your personality too.
Yes.
Like I'm a very hyper person. Yeah, Jesse. I am. I am very hyper.
Yes.
I am very busy.
Yes.
I really have a hard time. I probably should be on drugs or something, but I have a hard time just slowing down. I do. And I get bored like real quick. And that's, I think, the biggest problem for me is if that's not grabbing my attention 5 minutes in, you know, where's the speed adjuster? Let's put this on overdrive. And, you know, that's just, and I'm being honest about that. That's just, so I think that everyone's different. Like Johnny, your personality is, you know, I don't mind watching, you know, the whole thing. A longer, the better. And that's great. And I think my Wild Home as well, kind of along those lines as well. But for personalities like mine or Rochelle's, it's like, let's get through this thing, you know, let's, you know, and Christine, you're the same way, you know?
Yes.
So I think that everyone, there's no right answer.
It's personality.
I think it's personality.
And preference. Absolutely. We got a few new ones in here.
Hi, Carol.
And Christy Betts.
Hey,
Good
Christy.
evening, Christy.
And that Rochelle, what Rochelle says right there, is in the
content channel. Yeah.
That's it.
Depends on the content of the channel.
Now that video that you sent me last night, Jesse, about that young couple in Quebec that built that cabin all by hand tools. It took them 2.5 years. It's got 7 million views. They hardly say a word.
They don't talk at all.
They don't hardly talk. But I watched that thing from beginning to end. It was like an hour and a half long.
17 million.
That
it interests you.
It had my attention.
Yes.
But I think that everyone is different with what they like watching.
Absolutely.
And in that flavor or taste is where you'll find the longevity or lack thereof.
That is
of
why
watching that.
That's why
videos,
YouTube
you know?
works.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It is so diverse because one of my favorite channels, I will not name, but it drives Tony insane. It's none of you.
Short trip.
It drives Tony insane. But I love her accent. She's cooking. I love her kitchen. I love her cabin. I love her cookbooks. I want to see what apron she's got on. Of course, I guess I'd be worried if he did want to see what apron.
See, I don't run in the house. See, I'm just gonna see the apron. I don't do that.
But everything is relevant, and that's why YouTube works, right?
Yeah. So, what do you guys use for editing software? Melody, Ryan, what do you guys use?
So we use Camtasia.
Camtasia. I've never heard of that. Is that a free one or?
Nope.
No, we pay an annual
Okay.
subscription for it, but
Okay.
it's pretty amazing. Yeah, it can do
Okay.
lots.
And
Okay.
also a little bit of Adobe Premiere too.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Adobe's
And-
good. Our son-in-law uses that.
And can you add in there what thumbnail software do you use? for your
Canva.
thumbnail? Canva.
Canva.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what everyone uses, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Grace and Fire. Rochelle, what do you use for software for editing?
I use HD Movie Maker.
Oh,
The
yes.
good
Yeah.
old original Movie Maker. I paid $9 for it.
Yeah.
I downloaded DaVinci and I almost threw my computer out the window. And I told myself 2 years ago, okay, you know what? When fall comes and I have time, I'm going to learn how to use this.
Yeah.
I've never had enough downtime to even care to use it. What I have, it works for me. I don't do anything fancy. I don't have like a separate mic. I have like a Rode mic that's hooked up to my camcorder. When I use the GoPro, that's the mic I use. I don't have a lot of like fancy clips, but I can move there and I can put a picture on a picture and I can put text on text. I would like to be motivated enough to take the time and interest, but once the fall comes, I'm in like full on sewing for Christmas mode.
Mhm.
And then once Christmas hits, it's January, I'm starting seeds.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That actually I have more downtime in the middle of summer.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But it's so
once
beautiful out.
everything's growing.
Yeah, June, July, I have nothing to do but water and pull a few
Yeah.
weeds. 'cause
So
nothing-
everyone in the chat, put in there if you're
So-
making videos. Everyone in the chat, if you're making videos,
Um,
what do you use for software? Go ahead,
so
Rochelle.
and then it's like it's so nice out. Time in here. That's why I've got like 3 or 4 videos sitting that need to be edited, but it's just like, oh, it's so nice outside. I'm gonna go outside instead.
Yeah.
so-
Yeah. Pinnacle
Yeah.
Studio 24 and Canva. I think everyone uses Canva for thumbnails. They're really
Canva,
good.
yeah.
Yeah. Johnny, what do you guys? You do all the editing there. So what do you guys use?
iMovie.
iMovie? Yeah.
Everything we use is, other than the GoPro, is I do everything on an iMac. A lot, if we video by phone, it's iPhones, things like that. So it's just a lot. It's a simple program. It came, it's part of the package that we got, and it works very well. We also have one called Adobe Premiere Plus that we have. We pay a monthly prescription. How much we pay?
We paid an annual subscription.
Annual subscription for that. Have I used it? No.
I have.
She's used it some.
Yeah. I know Ralph Webb's Web, he uses DaVinci. And Jesse, go ahead. I know what you use. Go ahead and tell us anyway.
Oh yeah, I use DaVinci, and let me tell you, I started out with KineMaster. I started with because I was doing everything on my phone, and KineMaster is excellent for using your phone. But when I went to my laptop, I wanted to start with a laptop, or a computer software. And let me tell you, most of the time when you let somebody drive, you start them out with a small car, a Toyota, or whatever, or maybe a beat up truck. No, I wanted to learn the software for editing, and I wanted somebody to help me. So I asked Tony what he uses. I use DaVinci. So downloaded DaVinci. I didn't know it was going to be as hard as it was. But, he threw me right into the 18-wheeler. He forget the Toyotas. No, you're going into the 18-wheeler. And it's been an uphill battle the whole way. But I love it. I mean, I'm learning a whole lot more. Every time you use it, you learn something new.
Yeah.
DaVinci. I use Canva for thumbnails.
Yeah. We use DaVinci too. And I enjoy DaVinci. I've been using it for well over a year now, probably a year and a half, closer to 2. I use the free version. I just like there's so many hotkeys in it. You can really edit really quickly, but I also like that there's so many things that you can do to your videos.
Mhm.
It really adds so much. And that's what I found a lot of because I tried like 6 or 7 other softwares, but I found that they maxed out or they limited out in what I wanted to do. Whereas DaVinci, it just never ends. There's so much you can do with DaVinci.
Hey,
Paul
and Donna, welcome. So the bottom line, they all work. again, it goes back to preference.
Yeah, and I think it's
right?
expectation. What do you want to do with your videos?
Yeah.
All of it. So,
Right.
you know,
Right.
Rochelle, you're muted.
I muted myself. Sorry. I had another thought. So it's kind of like when you do photography, you can learn how to do all the fancy editing, but it's always better to, get the shot right in camera as best. And so I've tried to do that more when I'm filming, instead of just like letting the camera run, and then go in and then you have so much more to edit out. I try to prepare a little bit better ahead of time, and I try to hit that on and off button with the I hit that button to stop recording and start recording. That is one less section that I have to then crop out later.
Yeah.
So I do try to be a more efficient in the filming of the videos. And so like the one I just released on Sunday was a garden tour video. And I had other videos that were going to take a lot more editing. And I thought, oh, you know what? I'll just do it, because garden tour video has minimal editing, because it's basically just kind of walking through the garden, and it is what it is, right? And then I had this brilliant idea to just add a bunch of flashback photos in throughout it. So I took what would have been, it like tripled the time it took to edit this stupid video. I think it was on Saturday.
Yeah.
This stupid video that no one's watching. So
well, everyone go over to Rochelle's and watch the video.
I put the effort in, and I cut it down. Like, it could have been a lot longer. There could have been a lot more yammer jammer. I try to think about the editing as I'm filming it, and to be like, you know what, the camera does not need to be rolling through this. So it's just less to have to cut later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think that too, you have to learn what makes good shots and what doesn't, because you can spend a lot of time on stuff that's irrelevant to what you're trying to film,
right.
But
turning the camera on.
So if you read the comment, Webb has been doing DaVinci for 5 years, and he does have some tutorials on his channel.
Yep.
Another person that I watch pretty regular for DaVinci tutorials, and we're talking about quick tutorials, like your speed, Rochelle tutorials, really quick, like less than 30 seconds. Is a guy by the name
I
of
don't like to watch long videos.
Daniel Patal is your speed. Daniel Patal, he has DaVinci down pat.
Yeah.
And
he's quick.
Less than a minute.
Yeah. So. Yeah, he's a good guy, and he makes it plain. He speaks in very easy language. Yeah, it's very easy to follow him as well. So, but I think use what you're familiar with. And if it's doing what you wanted to do, then hey, more power to you. I think that's the bottom line. So, Lee, I don't know if that answers his question, Lee, if you're still listening, but you can Google editing software, and there'll be 50 of them that pop up. Yep. And just find one and try to use it. And, if you need some help, give us a shout. We don't mind, helping you out either. So, but yeah, it's all good that way. So, so that's the questions. And I appreciate everybody, coming in and helping us with this. Absolutely. I enjoy talking about this stuff because there's so many different channels now, and so many new people that are starting channels. That if we can save them some time, or help them out with some things and stuff, by answering some questions for them, but hey, if it helps, it helps, so that's what we say. But we thank you, everybody.
Yes.
And if you have to run, I know,
yes.
Let me see, there's no correct editor to use what you're comfortable with.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
That's exactly right, Ralph.
Right.
Right or wrong.
Exactly.
They have to go home. They
yes,
have to leave.
They have to leave. So, Ryan, Melly, thank you so much.
And thank you all for joining us.
And folks, let me say this. They have to run. If you want to see a beautiful island and two wonderful people, go to My Wild Home, watch their channel, watch their videos. Just don't just click on the the sub button. Watch some stuff so it sticks, and you will love what they're doing. They're wonderful people. And you guys will not regret going over to My Wild Home. That's HOLM. And I learned that.
Let me add, you will regret going to their channel because you're going to spend a lot of time watching them.
Watching it. So God bless you guys. God bless you guys.
so much.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, and so I want to do a couple of things. There's something else we wanted to start doing. You want to introduce it, Jesse?
Well,
Spill the beans. Spill the beans.
So next week, Tony wants to start a new segment called WTF.
It's not what you think.
It's not what you think.
Not.
Yeah, it's not worship the Father.
No, it's called Watch These Folks.
Watch these folks.
Yes.
Watch these folks. And that tonight would have been a good one to talk about. WTF would have been My Wild Home. Watch these folks. And if you like them, sub to them. If you don't like them, don't sub to them. Do not. I'm going to tell you this. Don't sub to a channel if you're not going to watch them.
Exactly.
You're only hurting them.
Exactly.
You're not helping them because that sub's just going to drop right off. YouTube's going to see you're not watching their stuff, so it'll just pull you off eventually. So, but watch them. Watch that channel or watch them.
Watch these folks. And what we want to do is try to find some early or younger, newer channels, and perhaps just give them a little boost
to help them out. Right? Yeah,
to help exactly, Rochelle, to help them out. And I think that it's going to be good. We will spend some time each week looking for a channel, and we'll if they'll come on for a few minutes, we'll bring them on, but we'll tell you about them. But yeah, watch these folks, and I think it's going to be a good thing for sure. The other thing we want to do, and this is a first for us. Well, it's not a first, but it's been a long time since we've done this.
Long time.
So I want to show you some things. I don't know if you guys can see these or not. Let me see. Let me know.
Let me bigify you. Some of the guys
bigify me.
Bigify me.
There we go. So this is a coaster. It's Creekside Maples. We're rebranding our entire channel with these. So this is a nice coaster. And we also have some nice stickers. I don't know if you guys can see them or not, if I'm turning them enough. There we go.
You're doing that tonight, right?
Yeah.
Looks good.
Sticker. And we also have magnets. And so I thought tonight...
be a nice way to end off. Just doing a quick giveaway. You'll get 4 coasters, a sticker, and a magnet. So... Oh, we need to bring them back. Or Jesse's
here. He's got it.
Where am
I? There you go. And so we're excited about this. We want to rebrand everything. But before we do any of it, I've got to tell you, I take no credit for this.
No credit.
At all. Because...
And neither do I. I promise I put my Sharpies away.
Yeah.
I did not make this with my Sharpies.
We got talking one day to Jesse, and Lisa, to which we do a lot of. And we just happened to tell them one day we'd like to rebrand our logo. And the two of them got together and started working on some stuff. And then he sent me some stuff. And then this was the one Lisa actually liked, I believe.
Yes.
So thank you, Lisa.
Yes.
And so I don't take any credit for how nice these look. These are their babies, their brainchild, and
he don't take credit. He takes cash only.
Yeah, exactly. That works too. And so,
so at this stage of the game, we're going to Jesse do your give it away now.
So I don't know how you're going to do it.
Don't do that.
Yeah. But I don't know what you want to call it.
Copyright infringement.
Yeah. So Jesse, you want to step in and take it from there?
So let's watch the number go up, right?
Yeah. Let me share my screen over here.
This is a good way to figure out who's actually.
Watch these folks.
Watch these folks.
And the folks I'm talking about is Tony and Joni.
Yeah, right.
Watch these folks.
So,
okay, there you go.
So if you want to be, if you want to get this, you let us know
the
by
set
putting
of
your name in there.
The original.
I'll tell you,
these are Creekside coasters.
Whoever wins these, okay, whoever gets these, no one else has these.
No.
Would they be limited edition?
Maybe. Maybe.
Limited
But
edition, one of a kind.
you will be the first people, whoever wins, you'll be the first ones to win the new logo, the coasters and sticker and magnet of the new logo for Creekside Maples. And so,
and Canadians are eligible too.
yes, they
Yes.
are. Canadians
They're in
are
Canada. They
eligible.
better be.
Yeah,
That's right. Yeah, they better be.
we are in Canada.
Oh,
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Watch
But,
these folks.
I'm not
Yeah.
going
I feel like we need to have some music playing.
You can do
You
that.
can do that too.
Yeah.
Doo-doo-doo-doo.
Yeah.
Jeopardy.
Yeah, we need to get that. But that's probably a copyrighted ditty, I imagine.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Molly, welcome, Pest Hunters.
Carrie Leonard is in Canada. Hey,
Oh,
Carrie.
Carrie, where are you located? What province?
Hey, Molly. We appreciate it.
As far as she's gasoline.
That's
Dave
a
and
funny
Sandy
song.
says they need a sticker for my water mug. Aw.
Well, we'll make sure Dave and Sandy.
Dave
get
and Sandy,
stickers.
you will get a sticker. Don't you worry about it. Oh, she's in Scarborough. Rochelle, is that very far from you?
About an hour away. My husband's.
Yep.
If you don't get it soon, you'll get it in 2025 for sure. At Cruising
It's
Alaska,
not give you the
25.
pure oaky cap.
No, he didn't, JB. Niagara Farms. Christy won't win.
JB, I have to say that's a beautiful logo.
It is.
Beautiful logo.
Oh, you talking about her hat?
His hat.
His
Yeah.
hat, yeah.
I don't have one of them.
Yeah, but you don't know this, but Tony, I had to get this hat. I had to get down on one knee and I had to beg. Trust me, I had to get on one knee and beg for this. That's what we're at.
Rochelle, I think you absolutely need to do that with your sticker. That's right. Right?
Three more. We have 20 entries.
Come on, we can make 20. How many we
We
got?
can
We
make
got
20.
28 in the chat. Remember,
Yeah,
we're
we
getting
got 28 in the chat.
limited edition.
Well, for
Nope.
those again just joining us, we can hold them up. Our brand new logo. Ah, there we go. These are
These
little
are
wooden coasters.
Wooden coasters.
And our sticker,
That beautiful.
Creekside coasters.
Oh. There we
And
go.
Notice it has a tent on there.
Yes, that's the. Oh man, that's the thing right there.
Right there.
Yes,
And a
it's got
tent.
the tent.
Symbolic of
Very
where you
symbolic.
Where we started on this piece of property. Yep.
Yep. Yep.
Ecocentric. How are ya?
We got 19. One more. Can we hit 20? Can we hit
Can we
20?
get to 20?
Brampton is their mud. Rochelle, I love how you put the mud in the hanging you did us, that wall hanging. Like in front of the house, you put all brown because it was just mud. That's what there was then. We had no grass.
Gravel.
Gravel, mud.
Yeah.
19. Can I get 20? Do I hear 20?
But
Come
JB,
on,
I
what-
love the hat.
WTF.
Yeah, that's a nice hat.
I do. I love the hat.
Watch them folks.
We need one more. Can we get one more?
Can we get it? One
We get
more
19,
person.
19. We get 19. Do we have 20, 20? Sticker me, says Brenda. All right, Jesse, let her roll.
All right, we're going to let it
All
roll.
right.
3, 2, 1. Here we go.
Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be?
David!
Oh!
Oh, man, that's amazing.
That's awesome.
Weren't they the
David
ones just, weren't they the ones just asking for it?
Yes.
That's
See?
awesome.
Andy, I'm going to tell you, God knows.
God knows.
See?
They put it out into the universe.
That's
There
right.
you
That's
go.
awesome.
Congratulations,
Yes, sir.
David Sandy. And they're from Oregon, by the way, folks.
They are Lisa's home state.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Ecocentric Homestead, welcome.
I'm just writing this down.
Yeah.
Yep. And we have her address too. So
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, that's so good. It
They
really
said
is.
God does know.
He does.
Mhm.
So thank you guys, everybody, for being in here. Yeah, Dave.
Sam.
Dave says I'm going to pull a Trump and call it rigged.
Yes.
That could get you canceled, buddy.
I know it. There's a lot of stuff that can.
Yeah.
But we thank you, everybody, for being here tonight.
Yeah.
And
Thank you so
panel.
much.
Thanks for
It was
having
really good. Yeah, it was really good. And everyone listening, go over to their channels.
Yes.
Check them out. I know most of you already have, but don't just look at the channel. Look at the video. Watch some videos. Give them a thumbs up. Leave a comment, because I'll tell you, as creators, it really makes a big difference when you look there and you got a nice comment,
Yes,
thumbs
yes.
up, and views. So
Yes.
all
And
of it.
everybody in comments.
Watch these folks.
Yeah, WTF.
Watch these.
But
folks.
thank you everyone for being here with us, and I hope you all enjoyed it. In comments, tell us, thumbs up. Did you enjoy this format tonight?
This floor mat.
Format.
Oh, format. That's a floor mat.
Format.
Thank you for inviting us. We appreciate it. We enjoyed this.
You are
We
welcome.
enjoy all you guys.
Good
It's
time
been
for
good.
fellowship with you.
Yeah, it's always fun. So, but we want to say goodnight to everybody and take care. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Thank you, everyone that helped with modding and all that stuff, and hung out and all that good stuff. We appreciate it. And so, again, take care and have fun making videos. Enjoy YouTube. Enjoy each other and have a good time. That's what it's all about. So, good night from here, Rochelle. Thank you. God bless you.
Well, thank you for coming in. I know you're busy.
Au
Yeah.
revoir.
And
Bonjour.
Jesse, Lisa, thank you. And Johnny, Christine, thank you guys. Everybody else watching.
Mhm.
And we'll see what will be Sunday
Mhm.
back here for another Creekside Chronicles on Sunday morning. So that's going to be fun. That's going to be good. I got some good stuff already brewing. So
So the Gillums go live Thursday at 5.
okay.
We go live Saturday at 5. Rochelle goes live Thursday at what, 6?
She hasn't been.
Oh, you
No,
haven't
I
been?
lost my spot.
Oh, okay. Well, she goes live when she
There's
goes
like
live.
3 or 4 other channels in where I used to go live. I had to step away from lives when I went on vacation, and then other people filled in. So I got to try and find a spot to go live this fall. That's another reason why I haven't been doing lives. It's just because I lost my slot. So
Okay.
I got to try to find a new slot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It'll work out. It'll work out. It really did. It will. So, but
Yeah.
thanks for having us Thanks for having
Thanks for
time to
having
come
us.
on with us and all that sort of thing. So we appreciate it. And we'll talk to everybody next time. God bless.
Adios.
Bye.
Adios. See you later.